Well, welcome back to Tough Men of Faith, Season 5. You can see Nick's smiling face over there.
What's up, RT? How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Doing good. Viewers about to go down now that they see
Yeah,
the Nick Robertson.
for sure listeners are going down. Like, ooh, these guys are not what we expected to see.
Yep. Well, we're on YouTube for those watching on that
Yeah.
now, right? So that's how you can watch us, or wherever you were streaming before and picking us up. We're still there.
Yeah, I think there's something on X now, right? Is it
X.
Twitter
Oh yeah,
or
yeah,
X?
yeah.
I don't
You
know
can
what it's
follow us
called.
on. It's not called Twitter. It's called X now.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Oh.
X. Is that what? So you no longer send a tweet. You send.
You don't send triple X's or
No,
even one
no.
X's.
All right, Season 5. This is our 79th episode.
Really?
Yep.
That's pretty good.
Third location.
They're definitely
We
their
moved from
location.
the closet
Yeah.
to, we used my office for a while, and now we have a new studio.
Tough Men of Faith are out of the closet.
Out of the closet. And new this year,
Yeah.
we have our first sponsor.
Oh, yeah.
So we had
Workforce Chaplains.
Workforce Chaplains. We had
Yeah.
Marcus Schrader on last year.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. That was, if you want to check that out, to actually learn more about Workforce Chaplains, it was Season 4, Episode 16.
Okay.
He came on and talked all about it, like him
Yeah.
starting it. But it started in 2018. It's just grown from that. They serve
Yeah.
190 different locations now. It's like over 62,000 employees are served through Workforce
Yep.
Chaplains.
And that's something like I didn't even know really existed, and we kind of talked about it a bunch that day when he was on. But it's like, these big companies are investing in their employees' spiritual life, and
Yeah.
they're hiring workforce chaplains to come in, 1 or 2 days a week, and or whatever their schedule is, and they're investing in their employees' spiritual life, which is amazing. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. So if you're a CEO, president, run a company, like
Yeah.
if you're looking for a way to kind of take that holistic approach to invest in your employee,
Yeah.
that's a great option.
Yeah,
So
for
reach
sure.
out to them. They serve all different sizes of businesses, large, small, nonprofits.
Right.
And so workforcechaplains.com.
yeah.
So appreciate them. What are you laughing at over there?
This is all new to me, so we're rolling with it.
What's
So,
all new?
This whole video thing, there's cameras everywhere, and it's just different.
Yeah.
I could pick my nose before, and now I feel weird if I just scratch my nose. It's just like, so it's just something a little different. That's all.
You look like a little kid on Christmas morning or something.
Really?
You look really giddy over there.
Yeah, it's kind of been a while since we've done this too. I mean, we haven't done a podcast in what, a couple months.
I think June was our last one.
Okay.
So busy summer though.
Yeah.
I was gone
busy
for
summer.
a lot. You were
Um,
doing some transition, and
yeah.
so,
So here we go.
yeah,
It's good. It's good to be back.
it is.
So I've had some people reach out to me the last couple of weeks and just ask, when are you guys coming back? And it's. I just keep saying a couple of weeks. I've been saying that for 2 months. So,
Producer Blake could have got his act together.
man, good thing there's not a camera on him.
Yeah, good thing. Good thing. So I thought today
Yeah.
we're just going to kind of have an episode where we talk about, how did I say it?
I think it's like living your life in rhythm, or
Yeah, your life needs a battle rhythm.
Oh, that's
I think
what it
it's
is.
like
Battle rhythm.
battle rhythm. Have you heard that terminology before?
You said cadence before, and I liked that term.
Yeah.
Um,
I think I thought battle rhythm because in the military, you always establish this battle rhythm. But what
Yeah.
it is, it's like a holistic approach to where there's a timetable of here's what's happening today, here's what's happening in the future. We need our technology, we need the officers, we need the soldiers, we need everything to like be in rhythm
yeah.
so that we're functioning
Yeah.
well.
So we're functioning. Yeah.
And
That's
so
exactly what I was going to say.
yeah, and so not only we're functioning well today, so for the day to day, but we're also going to function well next week or next month if we
Yeah.
still find ourselves in this battle where
Yeah.
everything works together. And really, I think our lives, like we need to make sure that we find ourselves in a good battle rhythm like
Yeah,
that.
for sure.
Like if you want to function well today, but if you also want to function well next month.
Well,
or
it
10
kind of
years
goes
from now.
back to like what you do today will help your plan succeed in weeks, months, years. You're kind of laying the groundwork today for whatever happens in the future.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and I think at its core, when we look at like developing a battle rhythm in your personal life, it really comes down to self-control.
yeah,
Which is, sometimes we think of that as like a motivational thing. Like you see like the short TikToks. Are you on TikTok?
nah, I don't do the TikTok.
Okay.
No.
Or the reels on
Yeah, I see the
Instagram.
reels.
Right. And it's like some guy screaming at you need self-control to motivate you and those
Yeah.
type of things.
Yeah,
But it's a biblical concept. It's one of the fruits of the Spirit in Galatians 5. It's like you should have self-control.
yeah.
And so when we lose that, we
We start to lose everything else.
lose
really.
everything else,
Yeah.
right? And sometimes why do you think we lose self-control? Just thought that.
Is it that we lose self-control, or is it we just give in?
Yeah, it's probably both.
It's probably just, then it's selfish, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, the reason that we would lose self-control, or the reason that we would give in to temptation is, it's just selfish. It's
Yeah.
just, yeah,
Well, and sometimes it could be something as simple as, hey, I'm tired, I'm hungry,
right.
I'm going to give in to this impulse.
But that still kind of goes back to being selfish.
It does, yeah.
You know, it's all self-serving. I'm
Yeah.
tired, I'm hungry, you know, it's just you're giving in to whatever.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and a lot of then what you're not doing is you're not managing your emotions well,
right.
and so you're not productive at work. If you
Yeah.
don't have this, you're probably not the best dad you can be, the best husband you can be, the best Christian you can be, right?
Yeah.
If you don't have this self-control.
Yep.
And so I think this being steadfast, that self-control is something we need to develop as Christians.
Yeah.
That's where, which I glad they can see you have your Bible. They can see who the spiritual one is, who brings their Bible.
Right.
2 Peter 1.
So you probably just got to memorize. I had to dig it out.
Well, you dug it out.
What are we? 2 Peter 1?
2 Peter 1, I think it's verse 5 or
6 and
6.
7?
Just read 5 through 7, yeah.
For this very reason, make every effort to supplement your faith with virtue, and virtue with knowledge, and knowledge with self-control, and self-control with steadfastness, and steadfastness with godliness, and godliness with brotherly affection, and brotherly affection with love.
Yeah, so there's a lot that, like, we could spend days,
Yeah, you could
exegeting
spend
that
days
text.
unpacking that.
But the part I want to look at just today is like, hey, make every effort to supplement your faith with, and it lists several things. It says knowledge, but with knowledge, you need self-control, and self-control with steadfastness.
Yeah.
That leads to godliness, it leads to brotherly affection, which leads to love. But in the midst of all those things is self-control and steadfastness.
Right.
So, and maybe you've been like this. I know I have like the type of guy maybe at times like your emotions are all over the place. You're
Yeah.
really not focused. And here in Scripture, we're saying, no, you need to have self-control. You need to be steadfast in what
Yeah.
you're doing.
Yeah, get it together.
Get it together. That's what we call it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think when I was thinking about like why does self-control matter? In my mind, it helps me focus on what's important
Right.
when I have a good self-control, a good battle rhythm for what my
Yeah.
day is going to look like.
Yep.
So-
You kind of keep your emotions in check.
Yeah.
That's a big thing for me is like, it's so easy to get worked up on something and to get emotional about something. And it's like, practice a little self-control, get your emotions in check. Not everything's about you, and it just makes moving forward with a good plan that, suits other people as well
Yeah.
as yourself.
Yeah. And this keeps you consistent in all areas too
Yeah.
of your life, right?
Yep.
When you start to develop that and
Yeah. Yeah. It's real easy to lose self-control or to lose any kind of control. But, it's, I think about work and things like that. It's just, it's easy to fly off the handle. It's easy to lose control. It's easy to, just when things aren't going right, and it's like, hold on a second, slow down,
Yeah.
look at the grand picture here.
yeah.
And,
I
yeah.
think self-control at work, right? To
Yeah.
lose your cool.
Right.
Or same with your spouse or,
Yeah, for
or
sure with your
friends.
spouse. You live with them 24/7,
Yeah.
There's times when,
But even to give in to like things of pleasure that we shouldn't, like it's a lack of self-control. So
Yeah.
if you're looking at things on your phone, you shouldn't look at.
right,
It's because you don't have the self-control.
right.
So it comes, or being selfish.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, being selfish.
or just not even things we shouldn't. It's like just being apathetic or lazy.
Yeah.
We don't have self-control, so we're just going to sit and binge
Yeah,
Netflix
just
all day. or
meandering through life.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where I think this, like an intentional battle rhythm, like this is what I do with my life.
Yeah.
It can stop that.
I like that. I
So-
like the intentionality,
Yeah.
intentionality part of it.
And I think it's a scriptural thing that we see. Like we need to live with intentionality. Like,
Yeah.
so why do I need a good battle rhythm? Why do I need good self-control? So that I can do more for the kingdom of God.
Yeah.
And I'm not just wasting my life here.
We did a thing a couple weeks ago. It was like a midnight workout thing.
Yeah.
I forget what it's called. Is it the Man Initiative? Is that what it's called? No, it's a thing here on the South Side.
Okay.
It's a big, I don't know, small Christian group kind of thing, but
Yeah.
for men. And we get together like midnight, 1
Oh,
o'clock
yeah,
in the
yeah,
morning.
yeah. I know what
We
you're
worked out, we ran.
Yeah.
We ran through the neighborhood. We worked out for hours, and then we hung out and kind of had some one-on-one time and stuff like that. And it's just about being intentional, And midnight, it's hard to come up with an excuse other than I'm sleeping to not show up at midnight. And watching 15 guys that don't really know each other well show
Yeah.
up, and I mean they were truly intentional about what they were doing. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. If we're not intentional with our time, like it's just going to get filled with junk.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Or sleep.
Sleep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sleep, scrolling.
Oh yeah. Look at how much time can you spend scrolling through reels?
We've
Right?
talked about that
We have.
more than I
think
want
I
to
hit on
know.
it all the time. It's
So much I turned off on my iPhone that tracks, it
oh yeah,
tracks
your
how
data
much time,
usage
data usage, or it tells you where
or
you
screen
spent your
time.
time, screen
Yeah.
time. I turned it off. Every Sunday morning it kept notifying me.
Yeah, it does that.
At least it gave me something to repent for every Sunday morning.
Nice.
Yeah, so I don't, like, practically, I was trying to think through, like, how do we develop self-control? How do we get this battle rhythm?
Yeah.
I wrote down what's worked for me,
Okay.
but I don't know that works for everyone. So I
All
thought
right.
you and I can just talk about it. And
Yeah. Let's see what you got.
so here's what I've been learning over the last several years, like
Yeah.
trying to develop, like
Yeah.
work on this, is that I have to think about the week ahead. So for me, it's every Sunday evening. I have to sit down and say, okay, here's what my week entails.
Yeah.
Here's what I have going on. Like big things that are kind of out of the ordinary.
Yeah. I
So,
have to have a schedule.
yeah. So to develop that
if
schedule.
if I go off the schedule, the whole week just goes off the rails.
Yeah.
I found out with work, with life, and I'm not a big planner.
Mm-hmm.
I really like to be spur of the moment and just kind of see where life goes. But if I don't have some kind of a plan for like work-life balance, then yeah, I will go way off the rails. I'll go
Yeah.
one way or the other, 100%.
Yeah. That's what I got to plan on Sunday evenings.
Yeah,
So I
okay.
actually on my calendar, I have a half-hour meeting scheduled on Sunday evening,
Okay.
Sunday night, just to remind me on my phone.
I know what that meeting is.
Well, if you look at my calendar, you'd see a one-on-one meeting
Yeah.
on Sunday nights. And where I do two things. I look for this week, like the coming week, what I need, but then I also
Yeah.
look back at my calendar through the last week and just try to make some notes of like,
Okay.
here's what worked well.
Yep.
Here's some things I could have done differently to kind of revise some things.
Yeah.
But this kind of, and the big thing about that is like anything that's out of the ordinary.
Right.
So big projects.
Oh, yeah.
Family
Yep.
outings.
And it's funny too, because when I get big projects and stuff going on, I will lose track of the smaller things.
Yeah.
And I'm really bad about it. But I just get so like intently focused on
Mm-hmm.
that one thing, and I'll lose track of the other 10 things that's going on if I don't have some kind of a reminder and something written down.
Yeah. Well, this helps me with my battle rhythm in life. This to see, this is where I'm spending my time. So when
Yeah.
I look back at the last week and I start kind of making mental notes like, hey, I wasted a lot of time last week,
Yep.
or I spent a lot of time away from my family. Those type of things.
Yeah.
Or I did fairly well last week.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So think about the week ahead. I think it's the first thing that I try to do. The other one is like have a daily routine,
Yeah.
like a
So
consistent.
you're really good about that too, aren't you? Like you have a really good morning routine.
I have it, but I hate it.
Do you really?
Like I have a love hate. Like it's not natural.
Okay.
I'm not one of those guys. It's just like I love getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, lifting weights, and yelling at everybody who does. It's like no, it sucks.
You do it with your garage door open so all your neighbors can see you.
Well, that's because it's been like 100 degrees outside.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, yeah. I think a daily routine is a great part of your battle plan.
No, I agree.
And I think it's what gives you that self-control that Scripture talks about.
Yep. Yeah. Well, and then every part of your day already has kind of something planned for it. It kind of eliminates a lot of the dead time that you can seriously drift off. If you have a daily routine, maybe you have an hour of dead time where you can drift off.
Yeah.
But you're not just slowly, taking that path and just
Yeah.
going the other direction. So,
Yeah, I think you got to have that morning routine.
Yeah.
Like that's where it
Well,
starts.
I think just a regular routine through the day.
Yeah. Yeah, I think where sometimes we mess up is we shy away from the morning routine.
Yeah.
It was like, well, we'll get it later in the day.
Yeah.
I'll read,
Yeah, that
I'll
never
meditate,
happens.
I'll journal, I'll work out.
Right.
Those things that we need to do for ourselves and our spiritual
Yep.
life. I've just found that if they don't happen in the morning, they're usually not happening.
Okay.
Especially for guys who are busy.
Yeah, I get that.
Um,
And it's like you talk about working out, like, and I know you work out like every morning.
yeah.
And I don't, and I usually do push it till the evening or afternoon.
Yeah.
And then it becomes when I have time or when I feel like it. And
Yeah.
if the day wasn't too rough, and so maybe that's a good area where I could change mine too. Is start moving some things to the morning.
Yeah, I think it works for some guys,
Yeah.
right? In the afternoon, evening, lunch break. But
Yeah,
the
for
thing
sure.
is, at 5 o'clock in the morning, there's not too many people trying to take your time.
Right. Yep,
So
good point.
not too many people's texting you.
Yeah.
I've got a couple.
Yeah.
But it's,
Huh.
yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
The other thing I have is that I've been trying to learn, like in having a good battle rhythm and self-control, is having some boundaries.
Oh yeah.
Those are tough to set.
Yeah, especially when people are involved.
Yeah, people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say some of it's people, some of it's my own self. Like,
Oh yeah, for sure.
but
Yeah, but
Yeah.
boundaries are good. I think guys need boundaries.
yeah.
I know guys need boundaries.
What's that saying about like poor planning on someone else's part becomes an emergency on your part?
Yeah,
So-
or your poor planning doesn't constitute an
Yeah,
emergency for me.
yeah. I've been trying to learn that.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay. I
'Cause-
learned that a while back at work. It's funny. I watched a reel the other day, but it said, first year business owners will do almost anything they can to please the customer, and fifth or sixth year business owners are like, no way.
Yeah.
Sorry that you have an emergency, but that doesn't that's not my problem. And
Yeah.
it's funny that we get there over time. Like it's almost we get calloused, I guess, or we just kind of become hardened to it a little bit. But
Yeah.
it's just because you're having an emergency. I mean, your poor planning doesn't make my life an emergency.
Right.
If I can help you, I will, but I don't feel obligated anymore like I used to.
Yeah.
Um,
So I think that self-control,
yeah.
that steadfastness, you set some boundaries.
Oh, yeah.
Now, of course, like if opportunities come, like you may decide to take them.
Yeah.
But you at least have those boundaries. Like I'm not going to do this every single time.
Well, and I'm not going to do it because I feel obligated to.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it because I want to.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yep.
I've seriously learned that lesson over the last probably year or
Yeah.
two.
Yeah.
Because I used to jump, all hours of the day just to help somebody that was obviously poor planning.
Yeah.
So,
The other thing I've been learning is to use technology.
okay.
So I used to kind of push away from it.
You laughing at me over here at my legal pad?
Well, no, I mean, maybe.
Okay.
But there are so many good like apps and ways to use your phone and
Yeah.
computer, like to make you more productive, to help with self-control and
Okay.
those type of things.
Yeah.
That
Do you have any that you use that you would want to mention?
I've started using To-Do List, which has been helpful.
Okay.
So not only can I see it, but my team as well can add to it and
Nice.
check things off. And there's so
Okay.
that's helpful. And then as a family, like this one's been a game changer.
Yeah.
Is we all have iPhones, which I don't know if like the losers that have Androids can do this or not.
Yeah, no fear of those
I was
guys.
just seeing if producer Blake was
Oh,
awake.
yeah. No, he's sleeping over there.
No, but it has like the notes,
Oh, yeah.
and you can share notes with
Yeah.
other people. So our family has like
You have like a
Just
family notepad?
we have like a family like grocery list
Okay.
or store list. So we just like kind of keep it updated, or some other things where
Yeah.
we have a shared note and we're able to communicate and check things off and things like that. There.
Nice.
So yeah, it's
So you use technology?
use technology. Like I think embrace it and
Yeah.
find ways for it to make you more productive.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Find
Awesome.
out what works for you and
Okay.
yeah. So battle rhythm. That's
Battle
back
rhythm.
back to beginning.
Yeah, living your life in a cadence.
Living your life in a cadence. You seem to like that better.
I don't know why.
Okay.
I
Live
like
your
battle
life
rhythm.
in a cadence.
Or maybe just rhythm.
Rhythm. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
just have a
it comes
rhythm
out.
for your life.
Yeah.
And for your family's life. It's funny too. It's like, I got a couple of friends that are like, single dads, and, it's funny that they don't realize that they are the leader of their house.
Yeah.
Men don't realize that they're the leader of their house sometimes until it's too late. But it's fun it's fun to watch them when they start to embrace it.
Mm-hmm.
And they see that, oh wait, I'm the leader of the house. I have to set the rhythm,
Yeah.
and my wife and my kids will follow as long as I start doing it and living it. And watching them figure that out and do it it's gratifying to watch.
Yeah.
It's
That-
cool to see people kind of grow in that direction.
That's a great point. Like
Yep.
men need to set the direction in this and say,
Yeah.
this is how our family's going. We're gonna have some discipline. We're gonna
Yep,
be intentional with our time.
exactly.
We're gonna have self-control. It's a
Yep.
fruit of the spirit. And the reality is, it comes down to like that's how we do more for the kingdom,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
That's how we serve more and,
Yep.
and use our talents more for
Yep.
God
So-
and not just wasting them here.
Yep,
on
it's
earth.
been cool. I've got a couple of friends here lately I've watched really step up into that role and really start setting the rhythm for their family, and it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's fun to see them start to understand it, and it makes their life easier in the end. I mean, when you set a schedule and you're intentional about your time and your
Yeah.
time spent, and you're intentional about what your family's doing and what you're allowed to go on and what you don't allow to go on. It's fun to watch them,
Yeah.
really step up and realize that life gets a whole lot easier. So
Yep.
it's cool.
Yeah. Well, this has been good to kind of get back
Yeah.
into it and
Yeah,
have
this
the video
is great.
going.
Man, I missed doing the podcast.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we're back, and
And we have a few things at the end. We didn't talk about this, but that we
Yeah.
need to probably do. Like So we have a YouTube page now.
Okay.
All right. So you
Yeah. So you and producer Blake have been. I mean, it's like
mainly Blake.
been like 9 group texts that I've been a part of this
Yeah.
week, and I've kind of ignored all of them.
Well, we don't expect you to keep up.
yeah, great.
We just need you for your face and your talent.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Keep going.
So there's a YouTube. You need to go subscribe to that.
Okay.
All right. And encourage your friends to do that.
So it's Tough Men of Faith.
Tough Men of Faith.
Okay.
Subscribe to that. If you're on X,
Yeah.
formerly known as Twitter,
Formerly known as Twitter.
make sure to follow us there.
That was weird one day when I opened my phone up and saw that there was a change.
Yeah.
And I don't use Twitter except for occasionally.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was
I don't
odd.
follow you. I need to go follow you on.
I don't think you do. I don't post anything.
Okay,
I don't know how to use it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got Twitter, and then we have Facebook.
Yeah.
Where you need, if you haven't liked us there,
Right.
everything's going to be there. So then you can leave a comment,
Yeah.
review, share it with some guys. I'm excited. We're gonna get some more guests in here
Yeah,
this
this is
year.
awesome.
Last season was the first season we really like started getting in a good rhythm, like with having regular
Yeah,
guests.
we were heavy on guests last season.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun.
So I think the plan is to start bringing maybe some of them back in,
Okay, cool.
but have them deal with like specific topics.
Okay.
So a lot of times we brought them in as like, hey, just tell us your story.
Yeah.
And so you can go back and listen to that.
Are you
But
bringing
now
back the Dirt Wrangler?
You know, we can bring back Daniel.
Yeah.
He would be
And,
fun to have in again.
Yeah.
In all of our guests, really. I mean,
Yeah,
I'd love
yeah,
to
I
have
had a
all
really
of
good
them
time.
back
Wendell
in.
Chin was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Howard Bellamy was a really good one
Howard.
too.
Then we have some ones from early, like 3 years ago when we started.
Yeah.
Back season 1, like Matt Roller would love to come
Yeah,
back
Matt
on.
Roller was a really good one. That was fun.
Yeah, he's a pastor. Matt
Yeah.
Barnes, who works at the State House here
Yep.
in Indiana.
I wasn't there for that one.
You weren't?
No.
Man, that one went great.
Right?
Yeah.
That's
Is that when
'cause-
you were jumping out of the attic?
Yeah, that's when it happened.
Okay. Yeah, we jumped on your head.
Yeah.
We'll bring him back in.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
I'm excited.
All right.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Awesome. See ya.